Did you hear that Caitlin Clark, the rookie sensation who attracted record-breaking crowds and viewership, is leaving the WNBA? The reason why the most popular player in WNBA history would leave the league after just one season may surprise you.
She's just not built for the physicality of this league.
You may be thinking that this isn't possible, but believe me when I say that Caitlin Clark, the face of women's basketball, is leaving the WNBA after just one season. This isn't just minor news, though. It's a bombshell that is upending the entire sport.
It's a bigger issue going on. And when this happened, and that girl, Kennedy Carter, pushed her in the back like that, it was a cheap shot. It was not a basketball play. She should have been ejected, number one. Number two, there should have been a fine that was incurred thereafter. Number three, not to say that there won't be, or hasn't been at this moment in time, I don't know of one.
Now that you're probably wondering what could have caused her to leave so quickly, get ready, because the reason is more shocking than you might have imagined. This is where things get really interesting, though, because this decision could permanently alter women's basketball. Are you ready to learn why? Let's examine this game-changing move and what it means for the WNBA's future.
What I am upset about is like, hey man, your meal ticket is under constant attack. There's been dirty plays all season.
You may believe that Caitlin Clark had it all in the WNBA, including game-changing talent and devoted supporters. But what if her rookie season was more like a marathon? The reality of her first season may change your perspective on her departure.
Struggled with physical defense she's faced at the professional level and voiced frustration with the league's officiating, recently telling reporters, quote, "I feel like I'm getting hammered and everybody is physical with me, and opponents get away with things that other people don't get away with."
Remember that EY Pook incident that left Clark temporarily blind? Can you imagine walking onto the court without the ability to see? That was the kind of challenge Clark faced during her rookie season. It wasn't all highlight reels and standing ovations.
My issue and my question is, where the fuck are her teammates at? Where y'all at? Where the rest of the Indiana Fever at? I've seen a couple girls smirk when she's got knocked down, half-assed to pick her up. Like, y'all supposed to protect the asset, protect the star. And all this is the team, she's the star. You always protect your star. I was someone who protected the stars. You fuck with Cole, CP, Blake, list goes on. It's gonna be a problem because you guys are supposed to be a family.
But it continued beyond that. Even the toughest players would have one if Clark hadn't been hammered out there game after game. We're talking about shoulder hits, frequent fouls, and physical attacks, and the worst part is that the referees mostly ignored it. It's as if they were wearing blinders to protect the league's new star.
They keep bringing up the ridiculous, idiotic, and tired old notion of racism. Asia Wilson, who bitch, whined, and moaned, and continues to bitch, whine, and moan, that Caitlin Clark is only popular because she's white, couldn't be more far off. Hey, look, we love Steph Curry.
Now, you may be wondering it gets even more tricky because her teammates undoubtedly have her support. Trying to lead her squad while feeling like she was competing against more than just the other team put Clark in a difficult situation.
Telling reporters, quote, "I feel like I'm getting hammered and everybody is physical with me, and opponents get away with things that other people don't get away with."
And the criticism was unrelenting. We're not just talking about coaches' harsh criticism or constructive criticism. This was next-level stuff. Some even dared to say that Clark's popularity was primarily due to her race rather than her amazing on-court abilities. Can you imagine the emotional toll that constant criticism, both on and off the court, took?
The WNBA rookie assist record in a win over the Storm. She already held the record for the most assists in a single game, which is 19, which she set the final game before the All-Star. And now she's in the record book once again with her third assist today. She set a new single mark set by a rookie. Clark passed Tisha Pinachero, who had 225 with the Sacramento Monarchs in 1998. Before y'all say the WNBA season was shorter, Pinachero set the record in 30 games. Clark broke the record in 28 games.
When Clark said, "I feel like I'm getting hammered and everybody is physical with me and opponents get away with things that other people don't get away with," her aggravation finally reached a boiling point. However, that was only the beginning of her issues.
Media thing doesn't, envelop her like they've done to this kid. This kid doesn't deserve all this. Nobody deserves all this.
Consider it. You're the most talked about rookie in WNBA history, setting records one after another. Yet each time you're on the court, it seems like you're entering a battlefield. The mental pressure is something else entirely, but the physical toll is one thing.
Far down the line, I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to do the next day. So,
following a devastating playoff defeat, Clark had a realization that all of her effort, all of her gym sessions, and all of the plays she had mastered weren't enough to guarantee her team's victory. It's the kind of moment that leaves you wondering about everything.
In its proper perspective, when I think about Caitlin Clark, the operative word that comes to my mind is gratitude. There's an incredible level of gratitude that should be accorded to this young lady with what she did for the sport.
Therefore, when you hear about Clark leaving the WNBA, consider more than just the statistics or the highlight reels. Consider the bruises, the frustration, and the ongoing struggle she endured every day. Playing basketball wasn't the only thing she had to deal with anymore. She had to survive in a league that seemed intent on pushing her boundaries at every opportunity.
Some of the numbers here. When we talk about league attendance, the Indiana Fever, all right, with Caitlin Clark, led the league in attendance both home and on the road of 17,035. Merchandise sales are up.
Now, you may be wondering, how did Clark become the face of the WNBA if things were so difficult? That's where this story takes a surprising turn. Clark had an absolutely revolutionary effect on the league, but it came at a price. Let's take a moment to discuss numbers.
Certainly she's going to be a great player. I think we see that. We see the capability on the basketball court. She can shoot, she can handle, she certainly can pass, okay?
Clark changed the WNBA landscape in addition to being a basketball player. Can you believe that a rookie outsells every other WNBA player and that her fans couldn't get enough of her? Her jersey became the best-selling item in the league's history. By herself, Clark increased the number of spectators attending each game from 3,000 to 15,000, which is 5 times more people coming to see her performances.
But her final season at Iowa was something to behold, and she went right from that into the WNBA season. I mean, right away. As soon as her college season ended, just days later, she was drafted by the Indiana Fever. And I just remember being at the Combine in early March. That was the talk of the town. In addition to what we were seeing out of the Pacers and the Combine being there, it's like Caitlin Clark's coming here, the Big Ten tournament going down in Indianapolis.
However, this is where things start to become fascinating. Clark was fighting an uphill battle on the court while setting records off it. Recall that in the playoff game, she scored an incredible 29 points, 10 assists, and 7 rebounds. She was on fire, but her teammates, including Tammy Fagany and Kelsey Mitchell, were cold. It seemed like Clark was playing a one-woman show.
I don't think it affected me. Honestly, I felt like I got good shots. They just didn't go down, and obviously a tough time for that to happen. I got some really good looks. I felt I had three pretty wide open threes in the first half that you usually make. So that's tough, but I felt like I battled and tried my best. Took care of the ball better than I usually do, which is a positive. But overall, Coach said in the locker room, we were down 3 the first quarter, down 5 second quarter, and then lost by 3 in the third. We were right there, and I felt like we just played a crappy game.
And it has been her season's narrative. Like a star attempting to illuminate the entire sky on their own, Clark shone brightly while her team battled to keep up. You have to question how long one player can sustain an entire team.
The professional level and voiced frustration with the league's officiating, recently telling reporters, quote, "I feel like I'm getting hammered and everybody is physical with me, and opponents get away with things that other people don't get away with."
You may be asking yourself, with all this success, why would Clark even consider leaving? Well, that's where it gets complicated. You see, Clark's individual brilliance wasn't enough to guarantee her team's success, and in basketball, team success is everything. Can you imagine being the best player on the court every night and still losing? That must be taxing on you, right?
What is the rest of the season going to look like, ratings-wise, for the WNBA? Are people still going to care? That is the question on everybody's mind, because when you look at the numbers with Caitlin Clark there.
And this is the real deal. She was unable to stay in the league despite all the records, admirers, and jersey sales. When Clark eventually lost it, she cried out, "I feel like I'm getting hammered, and everybody is physical with me, and opponents get away with things that other people don't get away with." It wasn't just a grievance. It was a need for assistance from the league's best player.
Merchandise up 450%.
As a whole surprised by Clark's shocking departure, but the true question is whether the league can continue without its golden goose. You might be surprised by the answer.
And we've talked about it a lot. Caitlin Clark is just such a class act. She held her head high despite being embroiled in so many different controversies throughout the entire course of the season. I mean, we saw dirty play after dirty play on Caitlin Clark, and still, she did not waver in keeping her composure, and that is something as a 22-year-old.
Let's face it, Caitlin Clark was more than just a player. She was a phenomenon. Her jersey sales alone broke numerous records, and her attendance figures transformed the home games of the Fever into sold-out events. However, now that she is gone, the WNBA faces a possible financial nightmare.
$76,000 is not enough for someone you are looking to be the face of the league going.
Consider all of the people that came solely to watch Clark play. They might not return. The record-breaking jersey sales will fall, and let's not even discuss the TV ratings. Without Clark, the league would be in danger of experiencing a severe decline in viewership. Clark was essential to CTV.